Hello, Nigeria. Welcome to Let's Talk Nigeria on this bright, hopeful morning. I am Oyu Stiving.
And I am Paul Oblomugbasa.
Yes, we want to look at one of the most significant security policy shifts of our time. Yes, today we are unpacking President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's order to withdraw police officers guarding VIPs, redirecting them back to core policing duties, a move that could reshape how our country thinks about security, trust, and governance. Now, if you tuned in hoping for the usual headlines, well, get ready. This one's different. At its heart, this is not just about shifting personnel, it's about a broader reflection. Who should get priority protection in Nigeria and why? Who are these VIPs that consume our security resources? And do their needs outweigh the pressing security demands of everyday Nigerians? President Tinubu's directive is causing our high-ranking officials, wealthy elites, and other VIPs. Meanwhile, ordinary Nigerians across neighborhoods, towns, and cities continue to face the challenges of crime, insecurity, and police scarcity. There have always been tensions around balancing the need to protect those in power with the imperative to protect the people. Now, President Tinubu is making a decisive move by ordering a pullback of these protective details, sending officers back to the streets to do what they were hired to do: fight crime, respond to emergencies, maintain public order.
And with this directive from the president, VIPs who want police protection will further henceforth request well armed personnel from the NSCDC, that is the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. We all know that many parts of Nigeria, especially remote areas, have few policemen at the stations, thus making the task of protecting and defending the people very, very difficult. Also, something to note, this is not the first time that a sitting president in Nigeria has asked that the police men be withdrawn from VIPs. And some are asking, is it another talk and no do, or this will be a real talk and do instruction from the president? Take note, the president also has approved the recruitment of 30,000 additional police officers. And the federal government is also collaborating with the states to create police training facilities nationwide. All of this to beef up security in Nigeria. Is this the way forward? That's what we're looking at today.
And it's interesting to see that you will not see police officers following some maybe celebrities while they jog, and then they pass on their water bottles for them to hold, and then they see the police officer jogging alongside the celebrities and all of that. So it's interesting to see that. But but this isn't just a policing decision, you know. It's a political and some say a moral one. On one hand, it's about efficiency, redirecting scarce resources where they are supposed to be and where they are needed. Our police force, historically stretched thin, could benefit massively from having more boots on the ground. But on the other hand, it's about symbolism. A president signaling that nobody, not even the powerful, is too important to rely on the shared safety of the community. It's also a potential challenge. How will these VIPs feel about reduced security? Will those who lose their protective details resist or adapt? And equally important, how will ordinary Nigerians, those who have long called for more policing presence in their communities, react when they begin to see real structural change? But we have someone in the studio with us this morning, a friend of the house, who stopped by to look at this issue together with us. Mr. Prince Makake, thanks for joining us on the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Moy and Paul. Good morning, Bayelsons and Nigeria in extension.
This is Let's Talk Nigeria. All right, Prince, some would say you're a VIP. Well, now your police detail will be taken away. I'm just joking. Anyway. I'm just joking. A lot of people say, well, does Prince Markake move around with the police? No, he has not. He doesn't go around. He's a VIP, actually, but he doesn't have any police moving around with him.
Maybe this morning you've been crowned with some spiritual
So it's pretty-
Insight.
insight. Maybe perhaps in the next few hours or some days.
Mm.
So you are my spiritual leader adopted from today.
Oh my word! But what do you think now? The president. Some say it's a moral one. Some say, well, it's a very good one at this time.
Well, these are not the good times in Nigeria, ranging from a full week-long back-to-back rising insecurity issues, kidnappings, killings, releases, and more killings and more kidnapping. It's sad. My condolences to those families that have lost their loved ones, which in extension I'm inclusive because I'm a Nigerian. You don't need to be my direct siblings before I should feel bad about the horrible and wanton killings that have been going on across the Federation. However, you see, leadership must adopt different dimensions of tackling issues, more importantly when it has to do with security. Security is everybody's business, yes, and at the same time, those saddled with the responsibility of planning and discharge of responsibilities must do it in a high level of secrecy and employing all advanced standards in dealing with security issues. I find it very funny whenever I see at the end of every it's called Security Council meeting. That's why it's not meant for everybody. The presidents and the service chiefs. So they should have a manner of, dispensing issues that they have discussed in their confines. To me, some persons are jubilating, but I don't. From hearing it from yesterday after when the IG, was attending to pressmen in the villa, when he now said, he said first the president had graciously approved more 30,000 police to be recruited. The next one, he now went further to say the president also have directed that all VIP protection policemen should be withdrawn. Now, the discourse should be the people that the in quotes called VIP. Did they just go to to a police station and just pick the men and order them to guide them? The answer is no. Who approves it? It's the IG of police. And there are procedures, because I once managed security activities in my former place of work, which I rose to the level of a security manager before I left. So I understand deployments to either private and corporate entities. There are procedures you follow which are legitimate, because we are talking about approximately 300 million Nigerians, and we have less than 50 million police. I'm just even giving a figure that is have never been realistic. Over 300 million, and we're talking about 30,000. Moye and Paul, who would 30,000? How can 30,000 surmount 300 million? If you carry out a survey just here in Michael Pokpo, where your station is situated, let's stand at the junction and do a manual census on the influx of human that have been, transverting this Michael Pokpo. Do you have a police post in Michael Pokpo? The answer is no. And from my small analysis that I've carried out over the time, how security should be manned, who needs security, how do the populace be secured. Now let me just take a clue from the United States, where they say the smallest county house 30 household. The smallest county house 30 household, with they carry out an arithmetic of a minimum of 4 persons per family. So when you multiply 4 times 30, you already know the figure. So the foreign being within our circle. Sometimes it is even animals. Maybe it's a wild animal that came to invade. Sometimes it's human. So 300 million people with diverse, complex security issues. If I were the service chiefs, if the president have given a marching order for withdrawal, we don't need to make it public because we have just endangered more people. We are trying to fight insecurity, but our measures want to endanger more people to make more people more vulnerable. Most of those persons, yes, I know there are some that have been abused, yes, but most of the persons you see carrying security, they are not carrying this security for the purpose of luxury. Because they have kidnapped values. We all know how our security situation is in this country. So if you go and ask any person that is carrying armed security as a VIP, if he tells you how much he pays,
You're saying the outright removal or withdrawal of
it will further increase the security situation. I'm telling you from practical experience.
And
but
I'm
you also
beginning
said-
to what Paul said.
Is
Is
it
it going to
said-
be a talk and do thing? or
Because
just
also,
Now I'm going there.
yeah,
That is why they are not
supposed to mention
should
it?
have mentioned it.
it's the sixth
But
time.
they would have. What if I happen to be the IG? What I would have done differently? Yes, there are some that are not needed, that they just deploy policemen for people who don't ordinarily have any reason. But coming out with this statement, it means